Hello control freaks, this is Tipsy Atris and welcome to a walkthrough of my homebrew Jeskai Truths. I'm having a lot of fun with this deck and fairly confident I'll be taking this to Mythic with some adjustments depending on the meta. The general game plan is to keep fast decks at bay with a removal suite and overwhelm our opponents with card advantage once things stabilize. We are running loads of cheap removal since the meta is extremely fast. Think of decks like Expressive Prowess, white-based artifact decks, and elves. These decks demand fast answers, which is why we are packing loads of removal. Our removal suite comprises 4 copies of Fragment Reality, an extremely cheap removal spell that deals with most threats. It efficiently deals with threats of mana value 1, and control decks which usually run no creatures. Next up, we have 2 copies of Fading Hope. It handles tokens and serves as a temporary answer to larger creatures. While these have some synergy with Divine Purge, we are not running a full playset of these as they are pretty bad answers against Expressive Prowess, which is really popular right now. We also have a single copy of Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, which takes out opposing planeswalkers and larger creatures with ease, and the exile keeps them from coming back. We don't really want this in the opening hand as it is only strong in the late game, hence the one-off. Fateful Absence does a similar thing here. Lightning Helix is extremely efficient, and the only reason I'm not running 4 is because I don't own a 4th copy. It keeps you alive against aggressive decks, and can help to chip down or even take out opposing planeswalkers. Lantern Flare is my 4th copy of Lightning Helix, which we will usually cleave. While it is awful in the early game, it does scale well in the late game. Divine Purge is our only Wrath effect. It's great against aggressive decks with hasty creatures as it causes them to enter tapped, and especially so against decks that run artifact lands as this gets rid of their mana too. Lastly, a full playset of Dovin's Veto so we don't automatically lose against Control, Reanimator, and Shabelcha decks. This removal package keeps us in the game while we grind out card advantage with cards like the namesake of the deck, See the Truth. It's a weaker Anticipate when cast from our hand, but it cuts very nicely into Arcane Proxy, in which it turns into an Ancestral Recall. Expressive Iteration provides card advantage by itself, and it also gives us a chance to draw 3 if we exile See the Truths. Narset gives us cards while denying opponents from drawing cards and pairs well with Memory. Search for Ascanta kind of functions as the 5th copy of Narset. Sea Gate Stormcaller is here since we have a plethora of copyable spells, including a cleaved Lantern Flare. Unfortunately, we can't draw 6 off of a See the Truth cast from exile, as it is a copy and not casted from a different zone. Arcane Proxy allows us to recast any removal spell from our graveyard. An obvious interaction here would be drawing 3 with See the Truths. We could also recast Divine Purge to wipe the board, and it costing 7 renders it immune to the sweep. Note that a prototyped Arcane Proxy has a mana value of 3, while a non-prototyped version has a mana value of 7. Lastly, Wandering Emperor acts as both a threat and an answer at instant speed. This deck is really color hungry, so we are going with the full playset of Raugrin Triome, all 12 check lands, 8 shocks and 4 cycling lands, a few basics of each color for things like Cleansing Wildfire. For utility, we have 2 copies of Castle Ardent Vale and 2 copies of Hollow Storm Giants. And that was Jeskai Truths, and we shall see how it performs in the field. But first, a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow. Nah, I'm just fucking with you, I don't have any sponsors. Do drop me a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment below telling me what your most hated decks are, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Back to the battlefield. For this match we are going against mono green elves. They lead off with the Llanowar elves off of a forest, which we promptly answer with the Fragment Reality off of a plains. They played a Leaf Crown Visionary off of a 2nd forest on the turn, and passed. We played a Hall of Storm Giants and found the Steam Vents with See the Truth. They missed the 3rd land drop and played the Elvish Warmaster and attacked with the Visionary, dropping us to 19. We responded with the Divine Purge off of our Castle Ardent Vale. They missed the 3rd land again, played the 2nd Elvish Warmaster and passed. We shocked ourselves with the Steam Vents to draw 3 off of an Arcane Proxy targeting See the Truth, getting ourselves 2 lands and a commit. They missed yet another land drop, so they played Allosaurus Shepherd, creating a 1/1 elf off of Eldritch Warmaster and passed without attacking. We found ourselves a Narset off of a Jeskai Truths, played a Sulfur Falls followed by Narset. We weaved on a -2 and passed the turn without attacking.
I know 88 ways to put thoughtfulness before action.
They played the third land in the form of Castle Garenbri and tutored for Critterhoof Behemoth with a Fearsome Path, creating a 1/1 elf again off of Elvish Warmaster. They sent an elf token towards Narset with no blocks on our end.
I must stay focused.
We played Expressive Iteration, seeing a Dovin's Veto and 2 Narsets. We took the Veto, tucked the Narset and exiled another Narset. We found another Expressive Iteration off of our last 2 loyalty counters, then realized we didn't have enough blue mana to cast the exiled Narset, so we simply played a Clifftop Retreat and passed the turn. They played a second Eldritch Warmaster, and we responded by nuking the first with a Cleaved Lantern Flare to keep their token army in check. They swung in with the Empath and 2 tokens, and we traded our Arcane Proxy for their first Empath, going down to 17. We played a second Narset, found ourselves a Divine Purge which we promptly used to sweep the board.
Hone your prowess.
We played a Sacred Foundry tapped and passed. They replayed the Shepherd exiled with Divine Purge and passed the turn. We found a second Purge off of Narset's -2, then played an Expressive Iteration, seeing an Arcane Proxy, a Bleeds of the Thunder Raptor and a third Expressive Iteration. We kept the Bleeds in our hand, tucked Arcane Proxy and exiled the Iteration, which we played again, seeing a Fragment Reality, Lightning Helix and a Divine Purge. We kept the Helix, tucked the Purge, and used the Fragment Reality on the Shepherd. We then played a Sulfur Falls and passed. They played a Forest and passed, presumably holding Collective Company. We played Search for Ascanta and the Steam Vents tapped, then held up Veto in anticipation for a Coco. Sure enough, they tried for it at our end step, but we stopped it with our Veto. They played another Forest and did a main phase Coco, bringing in yet another Shepherd and a Circle of Dreams Druid. This wasn't an issue since they didn't have haste and we had a Divine Purge ready for whatever may be coming down. I decided to commit the Druid since we have Narset ready to do a one-sided wheel with memory. We flipped Ascanta by milling a Wandering Emperor, played an Island and got rid of the Shepherd with a Helix going back up to 20. We paid 3 for Yorion and passed. They played a Khan the Great Creator on their turn, finding themselves a Wormcoil Engine and passed. We found a Jeskai Truths at their end step with Ascanta and took care of Karn with the Bleeds. We played a Sulfur Falls off of Jeskai Truths, then reset Narset by playing Yorion and passed.
I have reached my limit.
They played the Wormcoil Engine and passed, and we found the Helix off of Ascanta at their end step. We grabbed the Veto off of Narset, played a Sacred Foundry tapped, and passed the turn without attacking. They tried for another Khan but were stopped by our Veto. They followed up with the Land War Elves, then swung at Narset with Wormcoil Engine. We cycled our farmland, finding ourselves a Fading Hope. We blocked with Yorion and bounced it back before damage with Fading Hope, then found a Fateful Absence with Ascanta. We then finished their Llanowar Elves with a Helix, bringing us back up to 23. We took out the engine with Fateful Absence, used Narset's ability to fish for a commit, then wiped both Worm and Clue tokens with the Divine Purge. We then played a Clifftop Retreat and reset Narset with Yorion again before passing the turn.
I won't forget our time together.
They played a Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, then replayed an Elvish Warmaster followed by an Elvish Archdruid, which we responded by committing the Warmaster to stop his elf token train.
Keep an open mind.
We found Jeskai Truths with Narset, which we played to find ourselves a Glacial Fortress. We popped Fragment Reality on their Archdruid, getting them an Elvish Mystic. We played the Fortress and did a one-sided wield with Memory, followed by bouncing their Mystic with Fading Hope, then swung in with Yorion, bringing them down to 16. They played a Forest and recasted the Leaf Crowned Visionary, followed by an Elvish Mystic in an attempt to draw more cards, but were stopped by Narset. They played another Llanowar Elves before ending the turn, which we responded by using a Fragment Reality on their elves off of Ascanta. We activated Narset's ability, finding a Lightning Helix. We then kicked Sea Gate Stormcaller to triple cast Helix, wiping his board and doing him 3 damage, bringing us up to 32, at which point they decided to call it a game. And that was Jeskai Truths against Elves. If you'd like to see more gameplay, do let me know by leaving a like and a comment. Also subscribe if you'd like to see more Magic Arena videos in general, and I will see you when I see you.